Hello, and welcome to Songwriters Spotlight, the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative Series. I'm Dr. Dan, your host of the show, where we feature Western Mass songwriters who perform their original songs and talk about the art of songwriting. Stay tuned to explore more about music and the tunesmithing that creates it. This episode features my songwriting, performed by my band, The Rustlers. It covers a broad range of topics and genres that I've drawn on in my writing. Here are The Rustlers. First song is going to be the first song I ever wrote. And I was sitting on the floor with a whole bunch of documents and bills and stuff like that from my father's estate. And I just got really angry. I cleaned that up a little. And this song came out. And it kind of says it all. When I leave this world, you can send me lots of flowers. Put on your Sunday best and ride in long black cars. Oh, but I've got a better way. Just listen to what I say. No muss, no fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. No muss, no fuss,
no fuss.
Gotta save some dough. Ain't no need for an undertaker. I'm saving it all for when I meet my maker. No muss,
no
fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. No muss, no fuss, not for this average Joe. Ain't no need for embalming fluid. My friendly bartender beat you to it. No muss, no fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. No muss, no fuss. Here's the way it'll go. Be at the curb all dressed in black. I'll be styling in my half-day sack. No muss, no fuss, take me to the curb when I go. Take me to the curb. No fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. No muss, no fuss, here's the way it'll go. Be riding that truck on down to glory. Promise me this and you won't be sorry. No muss, no fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. No muss, no fuss. You make me happy, you know, and good for nothing when I'm gone. You make me happy when you sing this song. No muss, no fuss, to take me to the curb when I go. That's right, take me to the curb when I go. Hear me talking, take me to the curb when I go. Introduce these people to you. They're very talented and they're very nice to me. I don't know why. We'll start on the far end. That's Tony Rousseau on bass.
Tony!
Cheers. And Bruce King on lead guitar. And Maggie Haddad on vocals. And also sort of the gem. Oh, me, okay.
That's Dan Russell.
Yeah.
He runs the whole show. He's in charge of the Rustlers.
So the next song is called Tennessee. And I was working off of a prompt that said, I'm from. And I'm saying, well, Massachusetts, there's only one thing that rhymes with Massachusetts, and it doesn't belong in a song. So I said, I was a DJ for 20 years on WMUA, and I really studied musical traditions and so on. And there are 3 states in the U.S. that stand out in terms of their musical traditions. I mean, all of them have great ones, but 3 really stand out. That's Texas, Louisiana, and Tennessee. And so I said, well, hey, I can put that together. And this is a tribute to the musical tradition of Tennessee. It's going to visit 3 places, Memphis, Nashville, and Bristol.
Bristol!
And don't mind him. So yeah, Bristol is the place where they had the big bang of country music. A guy named Ralph Peer from the Victor Recording Company went out there to record people, and he thought he would spend like a Sunday afternoon and evening recording people, and it turned out to be 7 days of recording some of the greats of country music, and including some people that I'll mention in the song. And Ralph Peer, by the way, is one of the most influential and unknown people of the 20th century. He laid the groundwork for recorded music in America and around the world, for that matter. So this is Tennessee. You say that you're from Memphis, Tennessee, birthplace of the blues and blue suede shoes, Burry Lewis and W.C. Well, you laid it down and you made it strong. Down on Beale Street, you say that you're from Memphis, Tennessee. Tennessee, that's the place for me. From the great Smoky Mountains to the mighty Mississippi, it's where I long to be. Well, the music is grand, and so is the land. I think that you'll agree. You say that you're from Memphis, I'm from Tennessee. You're telling me that Nashville is your hometown, the Grand Ole Opry and Music Row, and that country sound, Hank Williams, Dolly, and Patsy, and good old E.T. You say that you're from Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee, that's the place for me. From the great Smoky Mountains to the mighty Mississippi, it's where I long to be. Well, the music is grand, and so is the land. I think that you'll agree. You say that you're from Nashville, I'm from Tennessee. All right. All right, yeah. The little town that you call home, Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol!
Just a little south of Virginia, where country records came to be. Ralph Peer found Jimmy Rogers and the Carter family. You say that you're from Bristol, Bristol, Tennessee. Tennessee, that's the place for me. From the great Smoky Mountains to the mighty Mississippi, it's where I long to be. Well, the music is grand, and so is the land. I think that you'll agree. You say that you're from Bristol, I'm from Tennessee. You say that you're from Nashville, I'm from Tennessee. You say that you're from Memphis, I'm from Tennessee. Yeah. Okay, this next song, back in the 90s, I spent a lot of time in retirement communities assisted care and nursing care and so on. And I really got exposed in a way to a lot of people's experiences that you wouldn't out on the street. And one of the things that I noticed are people who sit in chairs, wheelchairs or sitting chairs, just staring all day. And I got to thinking about that, and I realized that these are people who have real lives. They had families, communities, they had spiritual lives, they had artistic lives, community involvement, and careers, and so on. Then I took it from there to my own experience, which this song reflects, although nothing in it is quite true, but the feelings are. So it's called Way Up North. She sits in the hall and stares at the wall, gray and faded. She tries to remember someone kind and tender, but he's not here anymore. She remembers the joy of hearing his voice and seeing the light in his eyes. Her eyes always shone when he called on the phone, but she can't hear anymore. But I'm far from those warm Gulf breezes, too far from the place I call home. I can't just go see her 'cause I'm needed here. I'm way up north, and she's so cold and alone.
She strains her memory. Who could it be? Someone she held so deep. She can almost see him, though the memory is deep. So could it be her son? She knows one day that he'll come her way, and they'll be together again. Not on this home, no place so small, somewhere the sun always shines.
But I'm far from those warm Gulf breezes, too far from the place I call home. I can't just go see her 'cause I'm needed here. I'm way up north, and she's so cold and alone. Far from those warm Gulf breezes, too far from the place I call home. I can't just go see her 'cause I'm needed here. I'm way up north, and she's so cold and alone. So this is a Western swing inspired song. And I just woke up one morning with the phrase in my mind, how can this be blues? And the rest just happened, and there's nothing profound about it. But here we go. My girlfriend left me the other day. How bad can that be, you might say? And then my wife found out. That's how I got these blues. I've got those how can this be blue? Those this just can't be happening to me blue. It's one of those things might happen to you, but it can't be happening to me. I've got those how can this be blue? Those this just can't be blue. Well, I felt so bad, I went to my doc. She and I had a little talk. Said, I've got a treatment plan for you. Come down to my place tomorrow night. I know how to treat you right. I've got the cure for your blues. I've got those how can this be blue? Those this just can't be happening to me blues. It's one of those things might happen to you, but it can't be happening to me. I've got those how can this be blues. Those this just can't be blues. Well, my best friend Chris told me this, pal, you're all done with marital bliss. Come on down to the single bars with me. We'll find some girls, have some fun. You don't have to settle on one. That's a way to get rid of your blues. I've got those how can this be blues. Oh yeah, those this just can't be happening to me blues. It's one of those things might happen to you, but it can't be happening to me. I've got those how can this be blues. Those this just can't be blues. All right. All right. Well, my brother-in-law, he's 6'6", real wide and real thick. Said, I've got a bone to pick with you. Well, you didn't treat my sister right. If I catch up with you tonight, you're gonna wind up all black and blue. I've got those how can this be blue. Those this just can't be happening to me blue. It's one of those things, yeah, might happen to you, but it can't be happening to me. I've got those how can this be blue. Those this just can't be blue. Well, my old man said, listen here, son, you screwed things up, if you'll pardon my pun. I've got a tip just for you. Well, go back home on your bended knees, say I'm so sorry and pretty please. That's the way to get rid of your blues. I've got those how can this be blue. Those this just can't be happening to me blue. It's one of those things might happen to you, but it can't be happening to me. I've got those how can this be blue. Those this just can't be blue. Those this just can't be blue. Next song, Like It or Not, I wrote in the parking lot of the grocery store. I had just mowed the lawn on a very hot, humid summer day, and I got to the grocery store and I had an hour's worth of grocery shopping in front of me, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this, man? And all of a sudden, this song sprang to life. I'm getting tired, I'm falling apart. My knees are weak, and so's my heart. But I'm your man. Like it or not, you know I love you, baby. That's why I'm here. If you wouldn't mind, would you get me another beer? I snore like a chainsaw, talk in my sleep. You'd be better off, darling, without me. Oh, but I'm your man. Like it or not. All right. thick or thin, baby, I ain't thin. For better or worse, baby, I'm your curse. My memory's gone, it's the second thing to go. So don't ask me questions, how would I know? But there's one thing that I'm sure of. You're the one I love. At least I think so. You're the one I love. Oh yeah. Oh, come on over here in the light where I can get a good look at you. Oh yeah. You're the one I love. Like it or not. So this next song is a hymn to bibliophilia. All you book lovers out there, that's what this song is about. And occasionally it'll sound like something terrible is going to happen, but nothing does. So you need not worry. A little spoiler alert. As I was wandering through the jungle of the Amazon, I looked around and I found half my crew was gone. The other half had insects crawling under their skin. They were all hatching plans to do me in, but I'm safe in my room, in my easy chair, because I travel everywhere by the book, across mighty oceans, by the book, and the steaming jungles, by the book, with my trusty companion, by the book. I fell in love in Paris at the Moulin Rouge. The show was grand, so we gave a hand to all the truth. My lover and I walked hand in hand along the river Seine. I loved her and she loved me. Our love would never end, but I've got no passport, no French beret, because I travel on the page of my book, down shady boulevards, by the book, to scenic cafes, by the book, with my mademoiselle, by the book, oh yeah. The ice out on the ocean was frozen around our ship. The hardtack in the galley was running out too quick. The wind was howling across our bow and tearing up our sail. I was starting to worry, what if we should fail? But I'm not shivering. My cat is here with me, because I travel out to sea by the book, across frozen wastelands, by the book, polar bears after me, by the book, my kitty is so cuddly, by the book. The holes in our tents make it mighty hard to survive. At Valley Forge we know that we've got to try. It was just last year we crossed the Delaware and gave the Hessians hell. We got to stick together and ring the Liberty Bell, but I've got no musket. No redcoats after me, because I traveled through history by the book, going way back in time, by the book, and far into the future, by the book, into deepest space, by the book, and the heart of the atom, by the book, talking with philosophers, by the book, and famous artists, by the book, just having a ball, by the book, by the book, by the book, by the book, by the book. Or you can check it out at your local library.
Yeah, it was good to hear you folks play.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed it. And now I have some questions for you. Simply, how long have you been songwriting?
Well, it was in 2002. I was sitting on the floor and I had all my father's bills and stuff, and I mentioned this in the video, and then a song came to me. And I had never really thought about writing a song prior to that, but then the song came to me and I said, well, I can do that. And people liked it, and so I said, well, maybe I could write another one. And then I started studying songwriting, and then a bunch more songs came out.
Oh, so you've done some studying?
Yes, I've taken workshops, I've read books, I've done online workshops, and so it's interesting. Peter Nelson's workshop, I took it this spring. Yeah. And it was a great experience. I learned a lot of stuff. Got at least one good song out of it.
Yeah.
I'll go back and rework the other two. Maybe I'll get something out of them too. But he's an excellent teacher.
Indeed. He's an excellent songwriter. Somebody to learn from anyhow. So.
Yes.
Yeah, another thing, you said you studied, and I was thinking you probably buy the book, right?
Yes. Yeah, I have several books on songwriting.
So why do you write?
Well, I think there's basically two motivations. One is I get a feeling, and I want to express it, like, take me to the curb. I had this overwhelming desire to express this feeling of, anger, disgust, and this is ridiculous, all rolled into one. And I wrote a song about it, not even intending to. And there have been songs since then that I've done the same thing with, get some kind of inspiration or feeling that I want to express. And the other is, I love music. I love the American music book. And so I wonder if I can maybe add a song that will, fit into that. I decided one time that I wanted to write a Western swing song, so so I did, and I wrote a rock and roll song, and a blues song,
right?
And so I just wanted to see if I could do it, and then the extras, any sort of qualities besides just getting it out there, they fall in as you go, if you do it right.
Sure. Wow. And who are some of your inspirations?
Well,
or what?
Well, I guess the first part of the answer to that is my inspirations are musical traditions. Like I said, blues, rock and roll, Western swing, folk, country. So I try to draw on them for inspiration, in the great songwriters in those genres, Hank Williams and so on. But as an individual, it's Randy Newman.
Oh, okay.
And I say Randy Newman because he writes every kind of song you can think about. He writes the songs that inspire you and make you feel good. He wrote a song in his last album. I cried. I'm listening to the song and tears are rolling down my cheeks. And then he does incredible farce. and satire, and sometimes like over the top. Like, I don't want to hear that. He wrote a great song about Putin that it had you laughing and quaking in fear at the same time.
Oh, wow.
He's just amazing, and he really knows how to use music to convey feelings and satire too. I really admire the way he's done it. I've been listening to him for I don't know how long. The 70s,
Wow.
early 70s.
So your connection with New Orleans probably plays a big role.
Well,
in it
I
too.
saw him play in New Orleans, and that album he did, Louisiana 1927, I think is a masterpiece. It's just amazing, and he played a lot of the songs in the concert that I saw him, and he doesn't have a great voice. It's emotive,
okay.
it's evocative. It's kind of like Dylan, you know.
Sure, yeah. Everybody sings his songs better than he does.
yeah. But oh man, he gets it in there. He gets the feelings in there the way he wants them.
Sure.
This is hilarious, or this is like, creepy.
Yeah.
He's good at creepy. So that's the part of him, one of the parts of him that I really appreciate.
Yeah. What are your favorite topics? But I think you've sort of.
Favorite topics. Yeah, they're like, I like to get a joke going. Years ago, Jay Thompson used to come to the open mic, and he would play. And I was walking out of the open mic one night, and I'm thinking, he writes songs about adult experience, adult thoughts. It's not like my boyfriend broke up with me or that kind of thing. And I got to thinking, like, there needs to be more songs like that. And I really appreciate it. And some of his songs were hilarious, or they are hilarious. And I said, maybe I can do that too. So that's what I try to do. I write about things that adults can relate to, and not strictly heartbreak and romance.
Sure. You go to write a song. How do you usually go about it?
Well, there's a couple of ways, and I've interviewed a lot of songwriters and gotten some very interesting answers to that question. But one way I do it is just noodling on my guitar. And sometimes I'll be playing chords or progression or something like that, and the words and the rhythms and everything, they just come to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I was noodling around one day, and I was playing these two chords, and all of a sudden I go, Ethel, and I wrote a song. That was the first word in the song, and everything else came together from there. And I kind of think, my experience has been that the songs are out here. And your job as a songwriter is to go find it. And you find pieces and they sound like they fit together, and then you look for more pieces and you say, am I missing something? And then you go out there and look some more, play it a bunch of times, and hope you can get as much of it into your song as possible. And so that's one way that I think about it. The other way is, I think of a topic, sort of, okay, I'm going to write these words, and then as I'm writing them, I'm thinking about melodies that go with them, and that's a kind of a standard way to write songs, and it's one of the things that I do. The other thing I do is I edit. The last song I wrote, it was in Peter Nelson's class.
Sure.
And he gave us assignment in class. He said, next class, come back with this song. And so I knew right away what the song was going to be about. And I went home and I started writing it, and then I edited almost every day, including the day that I performed it.
Oh, wow.
And so we're talking about a month of editing.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And in the class, people gave some really excellent suggestions, fantastic suggestions. And I took them and did some more editing. And, you chop out the words you don't need, maybe substitute a word, and maybe that's too fancy a word. I'll get a more commonplace word, something people connect with. And then I change that up. And then sometimes I say, well, maybe a different chord, or maybe do the chords in reverse. So that song By the Book, originally it was going to go, G-A-D. But I said, no, let's go DGA.
Ah, okay.
And then things fell into place the way I wanted it, the way I was intended to write it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now that song, was there bunches of editing on that, or?
Yeah, I had to figure out, how to say the things that I wanted to say, and the sort of the interjections, what works, and how do you keep the same sort of emotional feel throughout the song, because you don't want to change it up too much, or if you do change it up, it has to be changed in a way that's connected to the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And so, that I work on that. And so, and then of course with that song, actually, most of it was inspired by books that I read.
Oh, well, there you go.
Honest to God, yeah.
Well, so some of your inspirations for these things come from things that you actually do,
Yeah, they do.
It's not like they're not all made up, Oh, wow. Well, do you have any recommendations for other people who write songs?
Yeah, I do. I think, you should, follow your passion. What kinds of music get you excited? Can you create that kind of music? And listen to your instrument, whether it's piano, guitar, or whatever you play. Listen to it and see what it has to say about it. And so many songwriters I've talked to say that they do that their instrument talks to them and gives them sort of the feel for what comes next. You have a whole lot of words coming up, or you just sustain a note for a while. The instrument tells you how to do that. And again, I urge people to edit. Some people will say, well, editing, that's, kind of weird and it's boring and everything. But I think that you can tell when a song's been well edited. Occasionally, a song comes together without much editing, but most of the time, you need to do some editing in order to get the song the way you want it to be, or the way it was intended to be out there in the ether, the way it is in its most perfect form. And so, that I strongly recommend that. And then, play out, get feedback. You get feedback in your living room, right? You hear it and you go, oh, that's not good, or wow, that's gonzo, I love it. But, get on a stage, open mic or otherwise, and open mic I strongly recommend, and play it, and, you can tell when people are responding to it or not.
Oh, sure, definitely.
Yeah, and if people are going, yeah, and clapping their hands and singing along, okay, I think I'm getting it right. But if they're going like, oh, well, let's see.
Yeah, you have a few of them that people clap their hands and sing along with. I can tell you that. So. Yeah,
well, thanks. And so get that kind of feedback, and I recommend getting feedback from other songwriters too. Like I said, that course that I just took, I got great feedback and really great insights into what I had written. I wrote one song. It turns out it was really two songs I tried to mash into one. And after people started asking me, what are you doing there? And I go, oh yeah, I wrote two songs and called it one. So, at some point in the future, I'm going to pull it apart and then make real songs out of those, or at least one of them. Because there's some good stuff in there, but having two songs together, they don't get along well.
Apparently not.
So I strongly recommend it. It's really benefited me in the courses that I've taken to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, music is a great thing, and to be able to contribute to the whole, not everybody can do it, and to be able to contribute to the array of stuff that's out there is it's a great thing,
And to think, mashing up a bunch of chords, fiddling with the rhythms, if you're doing 3/4 or 2/4, and doing stuff with the lyrics. One of the things I like, for example, about country music is they like to twist the lyrics around, get new meanings out of them as they go along, and there's just some really cool things that you can pick up from different genres, and so I think that's what is amazing, is that people are able to do that.
Sure.
Ordinary people like you and me. There's no Bob Dylans in the room, and so but we can write some good songs, entertaining songs, inspiring songs.
Sure.
And it's almost a miracle when you think about it. It's a testament to human creativity.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Scott.
Well, thank you.
All right.
It's nice to hear you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our show. I would like to acknowledge the support of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative, promoting the original music scene in Western Massachusetts. If you want to learn more about the WMSC, go to their Facebook page. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Dan. I hope you'll tune in again for the show that puts a spotlight on songwriters.